hello, hi, hey, I'm Ray Renee. Welcome back to another episode of the Solitude series. A couple things about me. I have ADHD. I also have bipolar 1. I want to talk about life on the wheel today. Before we get into the high and mighty powers of the wheel, let's talk about when it feels like the world is literally resting on your shoulders, your life has been turned upside down, and you are simply at a low point. The first thing to remember, the wheel kept spinning. The wheel will continue moving. This period is not forever. This period is only temporary. The wheel never stops spinning. You have to go through low points because high points are coming. It's constantly cyclically changing. Second thing I find very helpful to remind myself, the wheel is spinning out of my control, but the choices that I make up top, I know impact how I'm going to handle the low time at the bottom. And so it's not about blaming myself or telling myself that all of the low times in my life are my fault, because that's literally not true. Now is a really good time to take some personal accountability of the choices that you made at the top rotation so that you can better understand what this low point might actually be about. Now, of course, in these contexts of high points, low points, I am not talking about any type of mental health emergency or medical emergency. We all know around here that mania, hypomania can be completely, and most times, at least for me, are completely untriggered medical events that deserve medical attention, that deserve for real intervention. So don't be sitting around in a depressive episode being like, what did I do? You didn't do nothing, girl. You have struggles that move past what we're talking about right now, okay? Take your pills, take your water, tell your mom when you're in a manic episode. But anyways, when you're feeling these low points, now is a really good time to use the energy that you have just thinking about, like, where actually am I in this process? What just happened before this? If we put it on a number line, what is the context of the movement? That acceptance allows you to get acclimated to what you're actually doing, and that acclimation allows you to rest long enough to build the energy back up to go back to moving on your next venture. I'm going to be honest, energy wise, creative wise, when I'm in my lows, I don't even ask myself to show up in a particular way. I just show up. What is who I will be. I already am. I don't ask very much of myself. All of my energy during low points goes to gathering my bearings, figuring out where I am, and doing my best to set up camp until it's time to move, right? Because when I'm in the low points, that's when I'm the most motivated to move. If you've ever read the book Who Moved My Cheese, I would say it's kind of like that. When you get to the station and you're like, the station looks like shit, I want to leave as soon as possible. Yeah, that's me. Like, I'm the little mice being like, get me the hell out of here. I want my cheese from a different station. But I'm careful not to move on too soon, because here's the thing. You are where you are for a reason. When you move too soon, sometimes you can leave some shit behind that might have been really helpful if you would have taken a little bit more time to sort of forge the area and figure out where you were before just like trying to skedaddle and stress get the hell out of there. But what should we do when the wheel is high, when life is good, when we are on top of the world? First step, check where you are in the process on our mental number line. Are you at the beginning of things at the top? Are you in the middle of things at the top? What's going on at the top? For me personally right now, I feel very on the top. I feel like if you were to pull my cards right now, the wheel is simply sitting on the top of the deck, and it is not reversed, honey. It is upright and is reflecting the shine. I feel gagged, not ate up, gagged at the views of the channel, the subscribers on the channel. I feel motivated. The fact that a video that is like very on brand for me and not something that I was like doing differently to try to get attention feels very amazing and top of the world for me, and as though I am feeling the beginning of something new. But here's where I sort of have to put my critical thinking skills on. If I tell myself, oh my gosh, I'm at the very beginning of something brand new, this is amazing, that is absolutely amazing, and I deserve to be able to take new steps every time I see them. But here's where I caution thinking you are at the beginning every time you're on top of the wheel. The first step is like beginner's privilege. I would say that when you are at your first fork in the road, it literally does matter, but it doesn't matter what decision you make, right? It's your first choice. You have nothing to look back on in reference to make the right choice. You don't know if you have any other choices coming your way. Like, you have no context, right? The first step is making something out of nothing. So that focus is simply doing something. You never are making a right or wrong choice. You always are just making the choice that you are. So like right and wrong, worst construct for a neurodivergent brain, period. But the first step especially, it's like the only point of the first step is making the step. And when you think about it like that, it's a lot of pressure taken off your shoulders for like having to start something new. But here's where we have to be careful. Just because you're on a new upward cycle does not mean that you are experiencing the first step every time you get on that high. Stage 1 is all about taking the first step. Stage 2 is about standing there for a second and looking around and seeing if you see anything that came from that. Now here's where 3 is a very magical number. It takes 3 to see 2. Did you ever think about it like that? So when I'm at stage 3, I start thinking about what are the 2 forks in the road. It's not about right or wrong, but it most certainly is about left and right, understanding that 4 lefts do make a circle. So 3 is all about trying to expand the best you can at the fork in the road. With my recent video, I felt like I had 2 choices. I could either continue on YouTube, potentially watch the engagement, see if I keep seeing it, keep doing what I'm doing, and I think that would have been a really good answer. But I'm ready to expand, honey. This most recent peak was my stage 3. I took it and I ran with it, and we made a Patreon, honey. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I felt really overwhelmed. I felt like maybe I was acting on manic energy. I felt like, damn, you get one video that blows up and like now you're starting something new. I'm not in stage 1, I'm in stage 3. I have been working for the last year making content on all kinds of different platforms. And while this is a new platform and this is a new setting for me, this is not a new venture or a new process. I've been making things worth sharing. It's just before I wasn't sharing in the right places and the people weren't finding it. I can't fault anyone for that. Now that I am starting to get an inkling of eyesight, I want to put myself on the spotlight. I want people to look at what I have to offer. You know, Patreon is new and the timing is new, and I did absolutely decide to launch Patreon on October 1st because I am embracing the power of beginnings and I am embracing the power of 1, because sitting in seat number 3 took me going through stages 1 and 2 and will continue to take me growing, moving, and seeking forwardness all the way up until 9. Understanding that I'm not in stage 1 of this game, that I'm at stage 3, which means I have stuff prepared, which means I have plans that I've been making, which means all of the notes that I was writing a year ago are suddenly taking on different form but coming back to relevancy. I'm not going to mistake where I am as the first time around. This ain't my first rodeo, honey, and I certainly am not acting like it. Bipolar or not, ADHD or not, autistic or not, your life still goes on the wheel. The wheel keeps spinning, whether you know it or not, whether you feel stuck on it or not, whether you feel spun out in or not, or whether you are going at a pace that is just so casual you can't quite notice it. You are on the wheel. If you made it this far, thanks so much, baddie. Go ahead and leave a sparkle emoji in the comments section to spread the energy and spread the word. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will connect and reflect in the next one.